Hello from Orchid in Chiang Mai, Thailand. Now, we are certainly not the first to document our experience at this eco lodge, famous for allowing you to have breakfast with elephants, but we still wanted to document this once-in-a-lifetime experience, and honestly, some of the hesitations I had towards participating in an experience like this. So we've just begun. We're going to take you along for our next kind of day that we're spending here. By the way, we are with my parents, Ken and Ellen. If you've been around a while, you know that we call them 10 and 11. That's what Hayes calls them. But they're here visiting. It was actually my dad that had the foresight to book us a room at this place and this experience many, many months ago.
You can't come to Thailand and not have an elephant experience.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pause this because we haven't really made a video quite like this before, where we're sharing mixed feelings on a topic we admittedly don't know very much about and have kind of not fully formed opinions on. So I am going to be interrupting this video as we go along to hopefully try to provide some more background. Again, I'm by no means an expert, but I have linked some resources that I found helpful in my research in the description. But moving right along, we booked the half-day elephant care package, which meant that our morning began preparing food for and feeding the elephants.
Making elephant medicine. And we got a bit of tamarind in here, got some rice, got some sea salt, and what else do we have in there? Bananas! Oh, here we go. Nice and loud.
Open mouth.
Open mouth.
Nice and loud.
Bonbon! Bonbon!
I don't think you get much. Oh, there we go.
So this one?
Yeah, okay.
Which one? Bonbon! I'm so sorry! I know! That's why tourists shouldn't do this stuff. Leave it to the mahouts. What's wrong?
You can wash your hands.
I'll get it.
Again.
You want me to get it for you, dude?
Oh.
Bonbon!
Mommy, wash your hands now.
Do you remember why they call that medicine?
Yeah, the tamarind's good for their stomachs, helps process food. The salt cleans their teeth, the sea salt. And the banana, I think, makes it taste all good.
Our guide was just explaining to us they have around 18 elephants here, all rescued from northern Thailand, where they were working in like the logging industry, because they don't have big machinery there. They still use elephants. And interesting fact, I've always was interested about this, but some of their ears are damaged, and that's because they used to pull them by their ears, which is pretty sad. But they seem to be getting a really nice life here now, so it's cool to see. So this reminds me of this famous elephant outside a temple in Pondicherry in India. That you no longer. And you pay money, right? You pay money, and the elephant would bless you, so it would put its trunk on your head. And it was kind of a cool experience. But then your head stank. Like the elephant's trunks are like really smelly. I just remember the rest of the day I was just like, I could just smell elephant on my head.
So first, right off the bat, you'll notice that we fed the elephants. Now, on the spectrum of kind of most responsible to least responsible elephant experiences, on the most responsible end, you have the no touch, no feed sanctuaries. So obviously this isn't kind of the most perfect. More on that later, but next up we had the opportunity to go on a short little trek with the elephants.
My favorite thing.
Oh, it's not my favorite thing.
Hold my hand. I'm going hand.
Hey, walk on the log.
Whoa!
That's not my favorite thing. What is your name?
What?
What is your name?
My name Tep.
Huh?
T-E-P, Tep.
When you do something, so you say, now we're talking.
crocodile.
After the trek, we had the opportunity to meet a 5-month-old baby elephant. Now, one of the biggest red flags at an elephant sanctuary is if there are babies that were bred. The mother of this baby was rescued while pregnant, and so the elephant was born into captivity after the rescue, in this case.
Hey baby, I have 3 bananas for you.
Move on.
So a little bit of background about me. The first time I visited Thailand was 2008, when riding elephants was the norm. But then a few years later, I was in London interning for an organization called Tourism Concern, right around the time that they and Responsible Travel and a bunch of other organizations led the major kind of initiative that changed how we experience elephants today in Thailand, and banned a lot of the riding. After that, I worked for one of the largest adventure tour operators in the world and one of the first to stop working with partners that had elephant rides. And that company has actually endorsed this property for their social business that benefits Indigenous women. But it's still like a complex kind of topic. Obviously, the best place for elephants is in the wild, but this is not always possible. Many of the elephants that you meet in these sanctuaries have been rescued from things like zoos, temples, circuses, logging industry, or they may have been orphaned, and it's not feasible for them to be placed back into the wild. In these cases, they end up in elephant sanctuaries, and in these cases, the sanctuaries supplement their income by opening their doors to tourists. This is further complicated by the fact that Asian elephants have been living in captivity for hundreds of years, and they no longer have enough habitat to return to. And in what little national park is left for them, they're in constant danger of trafficking and ivory poaching. So the situation here in Thailand is no longer one of conservation, and instead one of finding the best captive environment for them to survive in, given the present circumstances. Again, don't let this video of our rambling uncertainty be your only research. There's so much good information. Again, I've linked a lot of good resources in the description. Anyway, leading up to this experience and throughout this experience, I was a little curious if we've just replaced elephant riding with less invasive, but still not totally perfect ways to interact with elephants, such as bathing and feeding them breakfast from your hotel room. So Chiang Mai does offer elephant bathing. That seems to be kind of like the next wave of organizations being sort of in agreement of something we shouldn't necessarily be doing, something maybe that has just arisen to replace riding to give something for tourists to do. I will say these elephants seem completely happy. They do need to be bathed, but there's the argument that if they're able to be bathed with so many tourists, that the way they're trained and stuff maybe is not ethical. No judgment if you have or will choose to bathe them. Honestly, it looks completely fine. We just simply weren't that interested in it, and Hayes is more interested in playing in the shallow puddles in this little river area that we've come to. So interesting, like traveling this much to see like what he's interested in. This is an incredible experience, and he obviously loves the elephants. He loves like fish and fish markets and lots of other things as much, if not more. It's so funny to see like what preferences kind of come about after all this traveling.
It's like having a proper park. That is amazing. I've never seen that. Look. I guess I've never really seen elephants in a river before. This part seems really natural, especially with this elephant just absolutely loving it. This is crazy. Look, 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 look.
It's a few hours later now. We spent the afternoon having lunch and relaxing at their restaurant, and then we came back. Not back, we checked into our lovely little cabins. I don't know if you can hear the river in the background. We have a map. This morning's experience was really, really cool. And I must say, it felt, and I'm not an expert, and I have not made animal welfare my life's mission by any stretch, but it felt pretty responsible in the scheme of things. We were allowed to feed them. We could have touched them and pet them, but it didn't feel like they were doing anything that they wouldn't have done normally if maybe they were doing it on slightly more of a schedule. But also there was a lot of moments where we were just like hanging around. We weren't being ushered from thing to thing. We were just kind of sitting and observing the elephants.
I found the experience very relaxing.
I don't know. It felt for the most part ethical. On the spectrum of what is the least ethical to what is the most ethical, it wasn't the absolute most responsible way you can see elephants. That could probably be done at, sorry, my tripod's dropping, at Elephant Nature Park, which is a sanctuary with like 100 elephants, free to roam everywhere. On the other side, obviously, you have elephants chained to trees and rides and that sort of thing. But there are more than 3,000 working elephants in Thailand and not enough sanctuaries with the means to have enough grounds to let them roam freely. So I don't know. You can make a case for tourism establishments like Chiang Mai that are running ethically, if not perfectly, and generating the income needed for them to care for the captive elephants as best they can. On top of that, Chiang Mai is a community-based project in partnership with indigenous stakeholders, and the profits from the elephant tours go towards caring for the elephants. But on top of that, the proceeds from the hotel fund Daughters Rising. One thing I kind of had hoped for is that there would be more information, and the guide would talk more about Chiang Mai's work with Daughters Rising, which is a nonprofit, let me just get it right, that empowers at-risk girls to end trafficking and exploitation in their communities and break the cycle of poverty. So many of the women working at Chiang Mai are through that nonprofit. There's a little bit of information in our hotel room, but I really wish we had learned more about that work because it's a really commendable thing that the hotel's doing, and I don't know, like supporting a social business. I don't know if this seems like to some people that I'm like totally overthinking it, and to other people might think, how could you possibly participate in something like that? I think I'm a little bit sensitive to this topic because I have worked in a controversial tourism subject. I managed a company in India for 2 years that was made famous for taking people in small group, no photos allowed, very responsible tours of one of Asia's largest slums. And I stand by that company 100%. I know that what we did was powerful and meaningful and responsible and ethical, but some people think it's totally black and white and that there's only one way to do things and this and that, and you can't have a conversation with people like that. So I'm trying to kind of see this from a multitude of angles, and I do think it is a little bit complex because if places like this didn't exist, there wouldn't be funds to care for the elephants, and if places like this didn't exist, copycat places would, that perhaps wouldn't engage with the animals as responsibly. Frankly, I did consider just making a video of our family enjoying this experience and not really reckoning with any of these thoughts, and I also considered scrapping the video entirely and just having this as a personal memory. But ultimately we wanted to make the kind of video that we'd like to see, and one that was authentic to our experience in its imperfection. So if we get slaughtered in the comments, so be it. Enough of the serious talk, that probably isn't why you're on this channel. So thank you for letting me try to do something different, but let's go have some margaritas. Which is much more what this channel is usually about.
Can I add though? Oh, there's another one coming. Can I also add that the mahouts, there's like no sticks, there's no like shouting,
it is true,
yelling.
all day today, and I was kind of bracing for some of that. Sorry,
right.
Did I interrupt?
No, yeah, I wouldn't mind. I mean, I just think that's worth mentioning because like I've been to.
We've heard a lot. I was bracing for
Yeah.
some of that because I've heard from other stories that people have done stuff that, like, obviously to get them to be safe around tourists and do the things we did, there was training involved. A lot of these animals were already working with humans and were rescued from something worse on the spectrum from that, the logging that Pete mentioned earlier, whatever. But yeah, so they're definitely being trained, but we didn't even so much as hear shouting today. There's an elephant here.
There's another one coming.
It's pretty cool.
I think.
If anything, this feels even cooler
I
than...
know, this is like great to have this experience, to just see them casually walking past. I think my favorite part of an elephant, let us know in the comments what yours is their feet. I just think their feet are so fascinating.
This video is such a mess, nothing new here. I know we're randomly jambly, I'm contradicting myself every 2 sentences, and it feels maybe like we're just trying to justify our decision, but so far I do stand by our decision, and I'm trying to explain why.
Did you see this baby elephant asleep in here?
You gotta wake up, dude! There's elephants to see!
Thank you so much. That was beautiful.
We don't have to worry about Hayes being responsible because he refuses to touch or feed or be close to them.
He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to.
Doing my bananas.
Don't tease it.
Just hold it there. Look. You just have to hold it and then.
Try with the baby.
You wanna try?
Hayes woke up. Sorry, I didn't know you were the first words Hayes said. Where's the mosquito net hole? The first words Hayes said when he woke up this morning. Well, no, the first words were, when the chickens roar, that's how you know it's time to get up. And then he said, are we gonna do anything fun today? We're about to have breakfast with elephants. He's a real vlogger, folks.
I fucked up the lens.
Okay.
No, for real.
What do you see?
Elephant for real. I think he's going to tunnel.
I guess the only thing is that would an elephant typically be coming and having breakfast on our schedule? I mean, it does seem a little bit weird that they're having to bring them down to us. But again, they're doing it, I feel, what seems really nicely. And the elephant is just plodding along.
I will say the benefit to spending the night is that we did get to see them yesterday afternoon without any tourists anywhere. So there was like a large chunk of the day that they weren't scheduled. I'm not saying it's perfect, but in this scenario, the tourism dollars are bringing in money to care for them. And there was still a big chunk of the day that they were just being elephants. I don't know.
I have enjoyed though this morning, waking up, listening to them. Have you heard that?
Yeah.
But it's been like all around, so it must be also other neighboring.
Yeah, there's tons of sanctuaries, camps, parks, whatever out here. So plenty to choose from if this is not the experience for you.
Just hold it in your hand. Just hold it right there. Just hold it. Hold it. He'll grab it from you. Just hold it.
I guess they all don't have to do it every day, because there's just one for breakfast. I'm not trying to justify this. We did not pick the most responsible of the experiences. And I don't know how to tell if an elephant's well cared for, but all the things I found in the checklist, the toes and the eyes, and they seem well cared for. Again, I'm not trying to justify it. Make a decision that's right for you, for the elephants. But maybe this guy doesn't have to do this for like another 5 days. This video's all over the place. I'm so sorry. Is this everything you hoped for and more?
Yes.
I hope you would have.
He's been reading all the literature.
It is amazing to be this close up to them. Like, this is really special.
Thanks for coming to our house.
Breakfast, sir.
Steph, do you want some?
Hey, I'm trying to go to 10-11.
have an elephant?
Oh, there's another one, Hazy.
They have a dog.
Yeah. It was pretty special, wasn't it? I've personally really enjoyed this. It's a really one-off, unique experience. And it surprised me though that Hayes was not like more into it, which was really interesting. I think we all thought that he was just gonna go absolutely crazy. But I think he was sort of like, not meh, but like, not
Elephants aren't his favorite.
Yeah, maybe elephants aren't his favorite animal. But I don't know. I personally could recommend this place. I think it's well worth a visit if you're coming to Thailand and want to come and see elephants. I think they're doing overall a great job here.
Yeah, so final thoughts. While Thailand may not be perfect, I don't know that perfect in terms of elephants in Thailand exists. In a perfect world, there would be plenty of space for them to roam and enough money generated for them to be cared for. So in the scheme of things, I feel pretty confident supporting Chai Lai in their efforts both with the elephants and with Daughters Rising. It's certainly the lesser of two evils of what these elephants have been through, while not maybe being the utmost of ethical, responsible elephant tourism on one end of the spectrum. Like I said, I am not an expert, and I do acknowledge that if tourists stopped demanding to be able to feed elephants breakfast from hotel balconies, then this would be even more responsible. But that said, like I said, there are the resources that I found helpful below. I am grateful. I hope this video did not come across as ungrateful to have such an incredible experience, but I just wanted to YouTube vomit some of the thoughts running through my head, and I appreciate you watching. Thank you for suggesting and booking this.
It's always great to be with you.